Hello, welcome back. We're talking about leadership effectiveness, and we're unpacking the Trilateral Leadership Ledger as presented by Chris Brady and Orrin Woodward in their best-selling book, Launching a Leadership Revolution. We're looking at character times tasks times relationship equals leadership effectiveness. And we're starting to unpack the last factor, and that's relationships. And the first point that they make is that the leader has to be able to accept people. Here's a great quote. Acceptance doesn't mean you like whatever happens. It means you see what happens with clarity instead of judgment and use that as your starting point. Natalie Kogan. I think that's a very good point. In order for effective leaders to build lasting relationships, they have to be willing to accept people for who they are and where they are. That does not mean that they have to blindly accept anything and everything that a person says or does. But it does mean that they have to accept that is a starting point from which to build a relationship. People want to be heard, and they want to feel like they matter. Dr. Hannah Mexham so eloquently pointed out, people do not want to be tolerated. They want to be accepted. Far too often, in this age of tolerance and inclusion, people and leaders talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. I have seen too many cases where tolerance was preached, but only if you agreed with and thought like the person in the position of authority. I won't call them leaders because that violates so many tenets of leadership. I don't have the time here to discuss all of that. People need to be accepted at face value, and differences need to be discussed in a civil and productive manner. Too many times, this does not happen. If people do not feel that you accept them, they simply will not follow you. So stay tuned. We'll keep unpacking relationships, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks for listening.